and if I have to talk about the takeaways, I would surely say that few of the things that you have said out over here, they really mean a lot, especially when you talk about hand-holding of the teachers, trust in the teachers, open learning, real-life projects, talking about conventional schools and alternate learning going in together. Basically, what alternate schools have been doing all these days when I have been listening, and of course being a part of the mainstream school for last so many years, I feel that life skills, when you talk about a real life learning, which we talk about, it comes in with the alternate education. Thank you, ma'am. It was wonderful. Thank you, Indra. Thank you, Asha. So now over to you for the question and answer session that we are going to have. We begin with the first question. Can I have the questions on the screen, Dipankar? Questions on the screen, Dipankar?
I can see the questions.
Okay, I'm unable to see them. Let me just check. Yes. How is this one? The first question, ma'am. How is this 1 year of the children not coming to school going to affect them in the future?
Yeah, it's very subjective. Anyways, more than the loss as projected by media, children had a lot more to gain as life experience. Children had an opportunity to see the real world, its real challenges. Initially, there was unrest, but later they must have had time to spend with family, helping and supporting and doing other things. And parents and children seeing each other and understanding is invaluable for their life and overall development. Also, there is an increase in psychological disorders, particularly among teenagers during this new normal. This, I feel, has given us an opportunity to know where we have gone wrong and set this right in future. So for me, I don't feel it's going to be affected for anyone.
Okay. So you mean to say rather that this has brought the children and the family, brought them together, working in togetherness. Of course, we can understand the stress and the strain which the children and the families they have been experiencing. That, of course, is an issue, but definitely it has brought in a lot of new learning. I would call it as a new learning because things which children never noticed, children never felt how mothers were actually struggling throughout the day, how they were trying to meet all the ends meet and how keeping everything ready for one and every member of the family, how mothers are helping the children to study now. I mean, rather we can say that the mother and the father today, they have almost become parallel to the teachers. So definitely there has been a learning, rather if we take it in the positive spirit. Ma'am, the second question goes to you. Why are children of the villages more adaptive and are able to learn and understand better than the children in the regular city schools? The difference between the rural and urban children.
One reason being that they live more in sync with nature. Nature teaches you way beyond what books, lab experiments, or museums can teach. And next reason is that children in villages are closer to real life, doing work with their family on fields and observe life as it occurs and being part of the day-to-day challenges, and also with lot of unstructured games. Hence, they get better exposure, which makes them to open up and to learn easily. So we need to tell them to study. We need not tell them to study to apply. Application of learning is automatic and not forceful. In city, children are fed only with theoretical knowledge that makes them feel learned, but with poor experiential understanding, which shuts the door to learn and explore.
So we can say that children in the villages, they are more exposed to real life learning. It's an automatic learning and not an imposed learning onto them. And with the informal learning, they are able to get into the real task of learning. That is what happens. And whereas children in the urban, when we say that they are going to the regular city schools, it is more of that they are academic oriented and they are into the formal learning. That's it. Ma'am, the third question, in a scenario where parents expect 100% scores in academics, how can a school find time to nurture creativity? It's a very big issue these days, 100% scores.
I need to give a straight answer. Hope this does not. Okay. Schools will be forced to cater the parents who succumb to the expectations. Children need to be cared and looked after for whatever they are in collaboration with parents and educators. Then there is a possibility of creating creative learning spaces. As long as parents decide for children, child has no scope or need to use their brains. And sometimes we cannot blame parents. Schools and society have to work together to remove the scoring games.
So the scoring game has actually become a rat race these days, I believe. It's, like my neighbor's child or my elder brother's child has scored that much and see how you are so poor with your scores. That goes in every family, if you have to talk about, where every family or every school, even amongst teachers, we can say that it becomes a competition. As you said right in the beginning, that competition and commercialization is what is happening with the mainstream schools. So we can understand about that.
Just to say that all the schools, posing saying our school stood out with so much percentage, our children have scored well. There's something we have to come out of.
Yes. And I believe even when it used to happen with the small kids, the school where I worked, ma'am, it was way back around 5 to 7 years back. We started with a system of no competition at the pre-primary level. Pre-primary and the primary level, nothing would be in competition, not whether it was a report card, academic, or whether it was co-curricular. Everything was a participation, everything was a presentation. And we could find that those children who would never ever get a chance to come ahead, even they were the ones who would really come forward and do the presentations very nicely. Thank you so much, ma'am.